Hey everyone, I'm a little out of breath because I just drug this old tiller over here. But this thing before today hasn't run for 2.5 years. It's an old Montgomery Ward Wizard tiller. I think it's from like the 80s, but it's got these badass tines on it. When I bought it, or I didn't buy it, I got it. I worked at a shop and they were cleaning it out and they were gonna throw this thing away. So I said, give it to me. It still had compression. It had a little 5-horse motor on it. And now it's got an 8-horse, but the 5-horse, it worked good the first year. Had to clean the carb and put a spark plug in it, but never got all the right parts for it. And once we tilled up the garden, we had a beautiful garden that year. Let that tiller sit out in the rain for a whole year, and it never ran again after that. There's the original motor. I could probably get it running now that I know a little more what I'm doing. But see, it never had the air cleaner on it, so when it rained, it filled up in there in the carburetor. Used to just have like some fabric softener sheets over the top of it. But anyways, I had this Toro wheel horse with an 8-horse motor, and the transmission went bad on this thing, so I took the motor, I just cut the mounting plate out and took it to that tiller. Had to shim it up a little bit and bought a pulley from Tractor Supply, and I put that motor on it. And I didn't know much about the wiring. Then I started it up and it did real good, and then it would never start up again. It never got sparks, so that thing sat there for 2.5 years. Been buying all these other mowers here and there real cheap, and I bought this one here for parts to fix another one we got just for the steering wheel. I got this, and I ended up putting the deck on the lawnmower that we bought for $400. That cost $100. I used the wiring off of that to fix the tiller. And we needed a lawnmower, and we bought this for $450, and it ran one day and cut the lawn a little bit, and then you started hearing knocking and ping, 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 ping. And this was the second lawnmower the guy gave us after we bought the first one, to make up for it. Well, it never worked, but it had the same motor as the other riding mower, just a bigger head. The other mower was a 17.5, this is a 19. And I took the stator and the flywheel off of it and used that to get the other mower working. But I took the carb off of this 19-horse and I used it on the tiller, which is an 8-horse, which, I fixed the tiller up. I didn't even have to go to the store. I just took everything I had off of all these lawnmowers to get it going. I took the ignition off of this, the key switch, and the light switch I'm using for a kill switch on the tiller. I took the carb off it. I didn't think it was going to work, but it has a fuel solenoid on it that the old one didn't, so I had to figure out how to wire the thing up and get it power. And it took me like watching 13 hours of YouTube and researching and looking up wiring schematics to figure out how to wire up that tiller to get it to work. But I finally got it, and it's a badass tiller. Don't make them like that anymore. We're gonna test it out. So there's the wife putting up the chickens, feeding them. Looks like it might rain, but we're just gonna test this tiller out right here. If you look at it, it's a Frankenstein now. This tiller was never designed to have this system on it, but you see there's the breather box and the carb off of the 19.5 horse, and I had to do all kinds of wiring to figure it out. Put a kill switch. I got the key off of the lawnmower, wired it all up. I put fuses everywhere to find out, you know, where I was shorting out. So if something goes wrong, it blows the fuses. And right now I gotta get some jumper cables and we'll see it run and see how it works. Here's the lawnmower I got working last week. So I was able to complete 2 projects in 2 weekends, which feels real awesome. I had to rewire a bunch of this. The starter was dragging between all the 4-wheelers. I got another starter, cleaned the other one and everything, but a magnet was hanging off, so this thing runs. I'm gonna grab the battery real fast to go start that tiller. Find the right wrench. I'll be back. Alright, I got the battery. I'm gonna go find a place to put it. Alright. So let's see if this tiller tills it up.
I got it working.